of a business-like approach tonight, getting this one and getting ready for a real challenging time ahead.
I mean, we'll take them literally however you can get them at this point. And, in the second half when we were able to get some consecutive defensive stops and push it to a double-digit lead, that was the first time we were able to really create some separation and keep it there. And, that was encouraging to see.
Terry's play, it seemed there might have been a little lethargy otherwise, and Terry was a real spark, especially in the first half, to keep you guys going. One, your thoughts on that, and two, can you give us an update when he had to leave briefly with a knee issue?
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily there's lethargy. It's just these are dangerous teams.
Okay.
Teams that are out of the playoff running. You can play fast and free, and you don't really have the pressure and context, that all the teams that are jockeying for positions, feel. So they can be super ignitable. But Terry, is getting a lot more comfortable. He really is pure. He wants to help. He wants to contribute. He wants to make things better, and easier, with the group. He's really been competing defensively on the ball. That's really helped us in both our man and our zone. And then offensively, it's just taken a little bit of time when you're, thinking of others, so much. And then you're hearing it. Yeah, you also have to be you. That's easier said than done. When you're coming into a team after midseason, but it's really been good to see him comfortable, and that's allowed him to be aggressive within the context of how we want to do things.
The knee an issue going forward? He left in the third quarter.
No, he just wanted to make sure that he was warmed up and everything was good, and he was cleared, and he said he'll be ready for Tuesday.
Thoughts on Duncan coming back, and especially see those two go through at the start of the second half?
Yeah, it was good for him to get his feet wet and get those game minutes. This is the thing that also, for people on the outside, you just don't understand. If you've been out for some time, even if it's just a little bit of time, you can do all the practicing, the workouts with coaches. It's not the same as an NBA game and a rhythm. And I think he caught a little bit more rhythm in the second half, and not just, with the shooting. It was just a little bit more on where to go, what the actions are, and all of those things. And you can see what he adds. I mean, the two back-to-back threes just kind of immediately put it to double digits, and that's what he's fully capable of.
What's the approach with Kevin? We know he's been available the last two games. You stayed with Thomas. Where does that stand?
Yeah, he'll be activated. I have every intention of getting him back into the mix. These, are fluid decisions when guys are in, out, and then we're trying to keep some level of continuity. That's relatively impossible to do. And it just takes a little bit of grace from everybody. But I'm fully aware of how important K-Love is to us, and he's been great about it. And I think with another day of work, he'll be ready on Tuesday.
I know it's one at a time. I know the Knicks are next, but it's a tough stretch ahead. Do you feel your team is well positioned and in a good space and a good place now going into the challenges ahead?
Yeah, I mean, all I'm thinking about is getting ready for Tuesday. We love competition. We have a bunch of competitors in our locker room. They love the feeling of how important all these games are. And that's the elation of when you get wins, but there's also the other side of it, the consequences when you lose. And when you really care about something, you have both realities. And so we understand we have to play well. We understand all the cliches that you have to take it one game at a time. You can't start getting ahead of yourself. There's only 8 games left, so I think it's a little bit easier just to stay in the moment and just focus on literally one game. And that's what we'll do. We'll rest up and get on to Miami and prepare, for a big game against New York on Tuesday. All right.
You've had some success from the 7-8 spots recently, but how big is the difference between 6th and 7th as you talk about the conference?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we've had a bunch of success lately. We had it last year. And we're not thinking about, last year. Each season is its own deal. I mean, we're going for it. That's who we are, and if we see opportunity in front of us, that's what we're going for. And You know, these playoff races and positioning, they're competitive for all the teams, both conferences. I think there was a lot to be sorted out, you know, before we get to the end of the season, and it's only 8 games. But when you're looking at the standings and everybody's like kind of one game apart, like there's a lot to be sorted out.
Last question.
Thomas Bryant has been playing good as of late. What are the chances of him staying in the rotation?
I don't know. We'll see. You know, here's what the rotation is. Whatever it takes. That's where we are. We've made this bed. You know, where we are right now. And because of all the moving parts, everybody right now, it's easy. You just be ready for your minutes, contribute in a positive way, and help impact winning. That's all it's about right now, and everybody's signed up for that. Everybody's bought into that. It's really kind of simplified things, and you can kind of get to that point sometimes when you get toward the end. All right, thank you.